Puerto Rico operates under a combination of federal law and its own territorial civil code for wage garnishment. As a U.S. territory, federal law, including the Consumer Credit Protection Act, applies, but Puerto Rico also has its own supplementary rules and procedures. The Puerto Rico Garnishment Limit, federal CCPA limits apply, the lesser of 25% of disposable earnings per pay period, or the amount by which disposable earnings exceed 30 times the federal minimum wage. Puerto Rico applies the federal minimum wage, which applies to Puerto Rico as a U.S. territory. Puerto Rico's own wage protections. Puerto Rico also has its own labor law protections, Law 2 of 1961 and subsequent legislation, that may provide additional wage protections. Puerto Rico's minimum wage requirements and wage payment laws supplement the federal framework. Puerto Rico courts apply both federal garnishment law and territorial civil code procedure. Enforcement proceedings in Puerto Rico follow Puerto Rico's rules of civil procedure. Disposable earnings in Puerto Rico, gross wages minus legally required deductions, federal income taxes. Puerto Rico residents pay federal Social Security and Medicare, but not U.S. federal income tax on Puerto Rico-sourced income. Puerto Rico income taxes, Social Security, and Medicare. Puerto Rico income tax. Puerto Rico residents pay Puerto Rico income tax, not U.S. federal income tax on Puerto Rico-sourced income. The PR income tax deduction reduces disposable earnings in the garnishment calculation. Puerto Rico garnishment procedure. After obtaining a judgment from a Puerto Rico court, the creditor initiates garnishment through the Puerto Rico court system under the Civil Code procedure. Service on the employer and the answer period follow Puerto Rico's procedural rules. U.S. judgments in Puerto Rico. Enforcing a U.S. mainland court judgment in Puerto Rico requires registration of the judgment in Puerto Rico's courts before enforcement can proceed. People Locator, skip tracing provides Puerto Rico debtor investigation and employer identification for wage garnishment. Visit peoplelocatorskiptracing.com to place your order.